the more that we root ourselves in Jesus Christ as the foundation of our home and we invest in his word, that walls start to build as we biblically obey the word that we're rooting ourselves in. And what's great about walls of obedience, the more that your family is rooted about being obedient to God's word and following that awesome blueprint for your home, the more those walls go up and you begin to build these walls of obedience, it has a tendency to do this. It keeps what's good in and it keeps what's bad out. And that's ultimately what we want. We want what we cherish to remain awesome. We want it to remain golden and perfect, and we want it to be everything that it possibly can be, and we don't want anything from the outside to come in and infect it and tear it down. And walls of obedience are designed that way. Listen, God's word is really, really specific in saying that when sin's finished, it produces death. So if you have a home that's not rooted in Jesus Christ and the walls of your home are not built on obedience to his word, I can guarantee you this: where there is disobedience, there's sin, and where there is sin, there is death. And the enemy is going to use that sin to tear your family apart in whatever way he possibly can. I've stated this before, and I know this is difficult to hear, but the enemy despises you and your family. And he would love to see your family fall apart today, tomorrow, as soon as possible. Everything that he's trying to do is to tear your home apart. He's all for that. He doesn't want for 1 minute for you to experience the awesome fullness and completeness that Jesus Christ intended, that God put into full motion when he organized and ordained this awesome union of marriage and gave us this principle of this home. The devil wants nothing to do with that. And the walls of our home, if they're built on disobedience, they are a breeding ground for pain and for hurt and for manipulation, things that will creep in and will tear us apart. They will tear us apart. John 14:15 says this: "If you love me, keep my commandments." Joshua 1:8 says, "Study this book of instruction continually, meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all that you do." I love Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 through 9, because it really puts things into perspective and how important God's word is in a home and how important it is to be obedient and to diligently seek after what God's will is in our life. It reads like this: "Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. And you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I am giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you're getting up. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your foreheads as reminders. Write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates." Do you think that God's trying to tell us something with this passage, how critically and important it is for us to be fully rooted in his word and be obedient in it? To the place where he says, if you have to, take down a verse that you need to apply and be obedient to, write it on a piece of paper, and go ahead and just tape it to your forehead so you don't forget it. I mean, you may look ridiculous, but if that's what it takes, that's what you need to do. Our homes only work at their optimum level in which God intends for them to work if we have walls of obedience